I've to meet, especially with it being family, to meet somebody that has had that experience and to hear them tell it and how respectful they were. To me, that's the foundation of being in nature with Sasquatch. That's the foundation of it. The respect, and also for to share that knowledge.
Yeah, that's the hardest. I think that's the hardest for folks is that when they do have an experience, they I think first they're questioning their own sanity. Did this really happen? And do I want to share this?
Right.
But to have also to go back. So my brother-in-law and his cousin, they had an experience during elk hunting season. They'll describe it. What you're going to hear is they'll describe it near Bumping Lake. I think that's about as specific as we want to get. Bumping Lake, if you follow any of the Sasquatch, Bigfoot podcasts, you'll hear Bumping Lake come up quite a bit. So I think that's a general enough but specific enough that that people will know where the region that they're talking about. So they had an encounter, and they were comfortable enough to come to us and share what had happened during a hunting trip, and we wanted to be able to share that with whoever wants to go to our YouTube channel and check it out. Again, our brother-in-law John, and his cousin Mark, who I went to school with. In high school, so I've known Mark forever. He's a stand-up guy, and you will hear him say that before this encounter, he was on the fence.
Right.
He wasn't sure, 50-50, real, not real, who knows? But open to it, and then they had their encounter.
The whole experience. And like I was telling Jim a little bit ago, for family to be able to share with us their story and how respectful they were throughout the entire incident, I guess, and to be able to share it with us is it's just solid.
Pretty special. Yeah.
It's very special, and these people are good people. They respect the land, hardworking, good folks,
honest,
and, honest, and I'm just proud that they were comfortable enough to share it with us, and we want to be respectful in helping tell the story
and how we present it.
Yeah.
So with that, let's go ahead and get started.
All right.
Night. Yep.
Cheers, everyone.
Yep.
Cheers.
Yep. Cheers. Family.
Family. So, elk season in November 2025. Where's I'll let you guys go ahead and give us the location and introduce yourself if you want. Let's visit.
I'm Mark here. We're located at the time of the Bumping Lake area, up near.
And that's
we're up elk hunting beginning of November.
Is that Yakima County?
I think so. Yakima County, yeah. We were up, finished up the hunting season. I think it was our last night of being there.
Yeah.
And we went out and did a little road hunt. Decided to get out and walk the bush a little bit. John, my cousin here, he went up high. A good friend went down low. And I hunted basically right where the truck was located, where we parked. It was getting kind of dark. So I said, well, the other two, John should be around in the corner anytime. I hadn't seen him, so I started getting a little concerned, but not too concerned. And realized I better go relieve myself because of the long ride back to the cabin. So I went to the bathroom, out in nature, and finished up, zipped up, and I heard the loudest crash I'd ever heard in those woods. Prior to that, it was so quiet, it was eerie. I mean, I didn't hear a bird, a squirrel, I heard nothing, it was just quiet. And all of a sudden I heard this bang! And I know the sound, I've worked in the rock industry for about 20 plus years. I know the sound of rocks when they hit each other. I know the sound of boulders when they're making contact with whatever. This was definitely a boulder that got thrown down into another boulder, and the boulders exploded. Is what it sounded like. And at the immediate time, I didn't know what the heck I was going. I jumped back in the blazer and caught my wits about myself.
You got freaked out.
I freaked out because I instantly knew there was nothing was there in my mind. But whatever was there had to be big in size to be able to lift something up and be that powerful. And I didn't think twice. I said, it must be Bigfoot. Then I really, adrenaline started pumping, and John came out of the woods, and I asked them if they'd heard the
Pitch dark.
if they heard the rocks smash. Didn't hear anything. Johnny said he thought he heard something,
Oh yeah.
and after that, I was just like, I don't even know what to do. I don't know how to respond other than if somebody can prove to me that what I heard was not normal or something different than a Bigfoot, I'm all ears. Because I don't know anything that in the middle of the night, well, it seemed like in the middle of the night, that could do something like that. No, and I didn't go around the corner to check and see what it was, or what the rocks were that he smacked together. I was a little nervous to do that. So I got back in the blazer. Well, I got out of the blazer and saw John and Jim. And then I got back in and took it easy. And
Didn't you think about getting your gun? You were pretty shook up.
yeah, your gun was real close after me grabbing. I knew where it was. If all I needed to go bang, I would have if I had to. But it added a twist to the hunting trip, that's for sure. I was a 50-50 believer in Bigfoot prior to this. I'm now a 100% believer. Something a lot bigger than I am, more powerful, did some damage. The only reason I say that is John went back up with Judy, his wife Judy, a few days later, and verified what I'd heard was the rocks that smacked each other. There was rock debris all around the area that I heard it, and there's looked like the boulders split in half. And I was basically, I felt like I was 8 to 10 feet away. Johnny confirmed realistically about 15 feet away, which is split in half apples there.
Did the ground move, Mark?
When he threw that rock, I felt the vibration in the ground.
All the way to the blazer.
Yeah, so whatever it was pretty powerful. Now, I know there's no dozers and excavators and whoever else had you running at 7 o'clock at night, right up in where we were located, so nothing could have broke that rock off and had it roll down a hillside or have it fall off the hillside or, we heard all kinds of crazy things that people thought it was. It wasn't that, so.
It almost sounds like it was a boulder was picked up and smashed
Exactly.
on the ground.
It sounded like
On the rock.
I mean, just sound-wise, it sounded like it could be like a 300 to 400 pound rock, maybe more, maybe a lot less, who knows? But it smacked another boulder that was mobile. It was yeah. Not mobile. It was stationary. He had the mobile rock. He smacked it against that boulder on the ground, and it was eerie. It exploded, and it was loud.
And you have a background in like rocks and quarries and
Yeah.
and that, so you knew what you were hearing.
I knew I was hearing. I heard rock being crushed in rock crushers for years.
So how soon after this happened, John, did you and get back to Mark?
Okay, almost immediately I come down the road it was dark, had a flashlight, and basically we're sticking longer than we normally do to see if we see animals moving around, and we right know where the blazer is. So I'd say it was like Mark got back out of the blazer and he's yelling my name, Johnny. I said, something's wrong, and I'm coming down this dark path, this Jeep road, and I can see the blazer, and Mark's in the back of it, and something's wrong. Oh, well, he must have saw some elk, so I'm not nervous yet. And I got closer, and you stop me if I'm wrong, and I'm going, what the hell's going on here? So I get closer to Mark, and he goes, I said, do you see elk? He's rattled, No, I think he said, Bigfoot, because it subconsciously came out. Isn't that what you said?
Oh, yeah.
He said, Bigfoot. And I went, what the, what? I can't swear I'm on the, what? I said, so he's coming up, he's looking shocked, Mark's puzzled. And then, well, it was right over here. So I walked right over to the blazer from the road, from what he told me, opened the door, and I fired the blazer up so this thing could hear we were leaving. And just us to get out of there so we can get to a place that we could wrap our head around it. Because I wanted to, if he had that happen, and he's never lied to me about stuff. I knew it was serious. So instinct was get out of there before I felt if it was doing that, then we had the potential of the next one landing on the blazer, right? Or I felt we were in danger because we can't fight what we can't see. We could have 100 guns. This whatever's happened is just showing that it can ambush us. And I felt whatever was there wanted us out of there. And the reason it wanted us out of there, I instantly knew, because I was so excited about getting another elk. We're in the same area where we got the elk last year. We're seeing elk that I wasn't thinking about a Bigfoot or anything, or just anything. Just getting back to the truck, getting in it, going back to the cabin, having a few beers, eating something, and that's what I was thinking about. But answering your question, I just wanted to get out of the way so we could wrap our head around it. And he said, did you notice how eerie that was as we're going down the road in the blazer? Did you guys know how eerie it was? So that's it. then I'll tell you.
What was he referring? What was Billy referring to? Eerie, just the.
How quiet, how quiet it was.
So you all three experienced that absolute
Eeriness.
quiet.
Yeah.
Not you could hear a pin drop.
You know how you smell the forest and it's wet and rainy and smells refreshing? But none of that in winter.
Just totally still.
All the senses were nothing to hear, no smells, nothing.
Yeah. In shock.
So you took this boulder smash as all right, enough's enough. Get out. You're in my
Very well
territory.
said.
Time to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why we're wrapping our head around
Yeah.
that. But I knew, my instinct told me, I don't know if Mark, let's just get out of here. You know.
Time to go.
Well, that's what kept me from looking at what was around the corner that made the crashing noise
Yeah.
and so on. Forget it, we're getting out of here.
I mean, we could have investigated it then, but no, absolutely not. It was an explosion.
Right.
It was, I heard it, I'll tell you when you interview that part with me, I'll go over what Mark got it right, but I just knew that wasn't normal. Nothing that in the 60 years of hunting in there, and just got our elk last year there, that was not familiar to me. It was it was overwhelming.
It was an absolutely new
It
sensation.
was something
that
that was not
experienced.
happy with us being there, and I wasn't thinking of any Sasquatch. He wasn't thinking of any Sasquatch. I'm not speaking for Mark, I should, but so it's no joke.
But Mark, you were rattled.
Oh yeah, I was rattled. It shook me a little. I mean, you hear something like that in the woods, and you're basically all alone out there. You find out you got a partner out there with you somewhere, making noise, trying to scare you away or whatever he's trying to do.
Yeah.
And Mark told him that he was actually worried. His mind was running from him because we should have been back by now. Why this is going on when something like that happens?
Oh right.
Did this thing already get us?
Yeah.
He was ready to get in the truck.
You were already like, hey,
Tell
where
him,
are
Mark.
they? It's been a minute.
I'll give them
They
2
should
more
be here."
minutes.
Yeah, because
And I'm going to run for help.
They've never came back when it's dark. They've always been back to the truck before it's
Before dark.
dark.
Yeah.
And this thing knew to wait till it got pitch dark, and we were sitting ducks.
And like I said, we didn't hear him either. He was super, super quiet.
Still.
So had I heard this one yell, or yell, or make a peep, any kind of noise, I would have known they were either okay or something's wrong by whatever the noise was.
So up until this boulder crash, it was just normal noises out in the woods.
Oh, yeah.
You're hunting and you hear the birds and the this or whatever. You're out in nature. Everything's great, and then this sense of just this. It's quiet, and then this happens, and
I didn't realize how calm it was until the calmness, the eeriness came after.
came after that.
And then when I look back at it, it was eerie before as well.
In hindsight, it was
It
kind of a lead up to
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
30 minutes or 5 minutes before that, I'm just excited about the elk moving around, and I'm not even thinking about anything like that. I'm just thinking, oh, I better get back to the truck now. They'll be waiting for me. And then he went to the bathroom because he knew we'd be down, relieved himself. And I think that kind of irritated the thing because I'm up there relieving myself constantly as we get older, having, my water and whatnot. And I think that could have added to everybody urinating around. I don't know. Just you can keep that part out. But when I came down, we weren't even thinking about it. I think we're excited. We might get another elk, and that's. The elk. We're in the elk.
That's why you're there.
We
Yeah,
had
for
one.
sure.
We got one last year right here about the same time, and said, "Oh, okay, I'll go back to the truck." And then it happened. And then, if you want me to talk about it, I heard the big smash the night before. I think this thing it was warning us the night before, because I heard a big whap, right?
let's go there.
Do you want to go there?
Yeah,
You want
for
to take
sure.
a break?
Well,
No.
keep in mind one thing too, that when I saw John walking down the road back to the truck, I didn't know it was him.
He was scared.
My,
What do
my,
you mean?
He was
my
thinking-
mind was set on Bigfoot. So when I see
So
him
you
walking
saw a
back,
figure and you're like,
yeah, because it's dark. Remember, it's black.
right.
But so I
He
said,
grabbed my 10mm.
I see a little impression of him walking down the road. I'm
Oh my
He's
God.
thinking
I'm ready to
Bigfoot. And he screamed my name out so he wasn't
I
gonna
wanted to hear his
shoot at
voice,
me.
and if he wasn't able to respond,
He goes, oh dear God. Because he had, when this happened,
Right.
his mind's thinking, this is a key.
This,
It all happened so fast that they're not back yet because we stayed a little bit later. Did this thing already get him and now it's working its way to me?
did he get?
I'm going to give him 2 minutes. So he went over, you tell. And he goes, when he saw me, he didn't know if it was me or Bigfoot or whatever this thing is, or people or whatever. Leave the people out of it. And pretty intense.
Oh, yeah,
He yelled my name out, Johnny, Johnny.
yeah,
I go, hey, what? You know, I knew something was wrong.
yeah.
Yeah,
and when he responded, you were
That was good.
good.
yeah. And
I'd
I just
already asked Bill.
Wow.
I'd already asked Bill if he heard what I heard. Said no.
no.
So then I got Johnny coming in. I don't know if it's Johnny or something else. But I was yelling for his name so I could hear his voice. Then if I heard it was his voice, then I was going to ask him, did you hear what I heard? He said, yeah. He said he thought he heard something just a minute ago.
I did the night before a big bang, and I was coming. Uncle
Same location,
Mark was here.
same time of day
But
or
I-
night,
Close to
Yeah, within 10 minutes it happened again.
the day before.
I heard this. I heard it. But the night before, I was watching the elk and I was excited. And when we gathered up, yeah, Johnny, you did good. You pushed him. Well, Mark, we all together. Mark's in the middle. I'm above, like 200 yards, 300 yards. He's down below. We've been in there all day. And we were driving our truck up and down there. And I think this thing got irritated, you know. And we're staying in the dark because that's when, after I've been looking up on that's when these things are the best. They hunt the best because they're nocturnal and they know we can't see, and I didn't know that. So I always this whole thing was something else on that. But when I got down there, Mark said Bigfoot. It's just so he didn't even know what he said. So I just looked over at him, looked at right at the truck. He's getting his gun. I just opened the door in the Blazer. I left the keys and I turned it on. And Mark was determined. He was so relieved because he was within all that happened so fast. His mind was kind of, you can't blame him. His mind's running. Why aren't they back yet? You know, this is getting really bad. So he was yelling my name out.
Yeah.
And so then we got in the truck and went down the road. But I'd heard this the night before. I heard a big whap. It's like somebody slammed my Blazer door.
Same location,
Same location,
same time.
Mark, same spot, right? I'm up there, right? About 10 minutes before this, I told you about it. And I thought somebody, slammed my door on the Blazer. And I go, then it dawned on me, because I hadn't come down yet, right? Well, they wouldn't do that. They know that would shatter the window. And we're hunting. You know, it was just before it started.
Yeah.
So the night before, about 10 minutes, was just a whap like that. And I go, and that's when I came down and I told you guys about it. Did you guys hear that? I was driving down the road. I says, did you guys slam my door? And so, and then of course we're going back further, 2 or 3 days. We heard the whoop, right? And so, I did hear it. I understand it to be, I know why whatever happened is because we're following the elk. We were on to the elk the last few days, weren't we?
Yeah.
Had the elk not been there, Mark, you can interrupt anytime you want on me. If the elk had not been there, we wouldn't be having this conversation. We didn't know it. But when they claim a herd or an area, they can't claim all the elk all over the world. They'll claim 10 to 20, they'll claim that herd, and they'll push bear, coyotes, wolves, whatever, people, hunters, and that's what I learned to find out about that. Had the elk not been there, because we were so excited about the elk, we wouldn't have had this experience. That's why I know what happened to us was because of the elk.
So
And this
you were in the right place, but you might have been in
Very
the
well
wrong
said.
place.
Very well said.
And
Naive about it.
So when the night before what Mark experienced, the night before you experienced, was it rocks, or was it like a wood knocks, or what did you hear?
Well,
How would you describe what you
the
heard
day- well,
the night
it
before?
was more like two rocks, like it was it was like a metal rocks. I can't explain it, but
We said it was like the door slammed.
like somebody just took my door in the blazer because I couldn't see it. I was up above. Wow, an explosion. So what I'm thinking it was two rocks. So this thing got close the night before. Like Judy said, my wife, she says, and yo, you guys didn't get it. Because I was watching the elk.
It
Like
sounds like to me, if I was to break it down, that Sasquatch was giving you your time, but at that certain time of the evening, it was like, okay, you're done. You got some or you didn't, but you're done. It's time for you to leave. And that was their warning
Yeah.
to say, okay, you're done. You're on our territory. Time to go.
You had your shot at it.
Nothing else would have made sense, right? I mean, it's dark outside.
And normally we are gone by then. So that's key, Jimmy. That's a great point. Like, okay, fellas, it's been good. You guys are going to go in your blazer and open the middle thing up and pull out some sandwiches and beef jerky. I'm hungry. You had your shot at it. Nothing happened. So, and these two experiences, and I have to tell you, I heard a big whap, like a tree whap, another day before that, but not at that time. It was like more like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I heard a whap, and I went like that. And then 2 days before that, Ariel and I heard a whoop, a big one, that we've never heard that sound in the woods. Because, like again, we're not thinking Bigfoot. And if you want to go back, Mark, if you want to get in, jump in. You help me out with this. I want to go back 2 weeks before this, and then you could come in on that part, right? So we're deer hunting, not elk hunting, when this happened. We were deer hunting, and basically when we deer hunt, we're kind of looking for elk, right?
Yeah.
And
Because elk season's coming.
right, we're not really interested in the deer so much.
Yeah.
But so we're deer hunting, and 2 weeks before that, he had somehow been up there hiking and getting exercise and whatnot, and he's scoping it out before deer season because we got an elk in that area, right? A nice one. So during deer season, we're riding down the road, and he goes, "Hey, what do you guys? Hey, Mark," he says, "What was that you and saw 20 years ago where there was a Sasquatch supposedly up in that area, and a ranger said it, his friend, and you guys run into some scat from something that you've never recognized." And Mark's been on the farm, for years. You know how the cow pies and all this, and he's asking us this. And he's never asked these questions, and then Mark replied, "Would you like to step in?"
Johnny said it was a few years back prior, but Johnny, myself, and my cousin, we were hunting the same area, roughly the same area, within 15 miles of this last night. We were tired. I were tired. I said, let's go. See that hillside over there? Let's go lay over there. Looks like it's warm. Go warm up a little bit. Grab a rest. We walked over there. On the way walking over there, we saw this pile of whatever. It was gray. It looked like oatmeal. It was the size of a basketball.
Scat?
Yeah. It stunk like nobody's business. They had flies were, there'd be a million flies on this thing.
A pile of scat the size of a
20 years
basketball.
The size of a basketball, grayish in color, and oatmealish in texture. Was not cow pie, was not bear shit, was not deer shit, was not elk shit, was not cat shit that I know. From what I know of all those animals there, I've never recognized scat like that at all.
And this was in that same area? Give or take.
Give or
20
take,
miles?
yeah. 7 miles.
Yeah.
I did the math on it already. Away from this area where we were marked 20 years him, and they were concerned about it because it smelled horrible.
Oh, it's horrible.
And he said they've never seen that color, anything like it. We know what bear and deer and all that, we know.
Right, you guys have been.
But he said
you guys have been out.
They were
in the
talking
woods
more
for
about this.
For a
decades.
long time.
And he said, well, hell, this is where the ranger, the reason we're up here hunting these elk is because my buddy's dad was a ranger here for 25 years. And he said, with the elk, don't be surprised if you see something kind of like that to my brother. You guys see anything weird up there? He goes, no. So, anyways, we go hunting there. The Mark and experienced this. And goes, well, to tell you the truth, the guy that sends us up here, his dad was a ranger, and he's a hell of a nice guy and a straight shooter, no BS. He said his dad he was a ranger for 25 years. On the 20th year of him being a ranger, he said he saw the Sasquatch. It's for real, believe it. And he says up until that 20 years, he'd never seen a footprint. He never seen a Sasquatch. He only seen it once, he says, and he mentioned something about the scat and some prints. But after that, he never seen it. He worked 5 more years. But on the 20th year, he said it's for real, believe it. You don't have to. This thing is alive and well. So that's next year. Well, brought it up after they saw the scat, and so Mark said he'll tell you that they've never seen nothing. He's been on the farm. He's seen it all, deer. And me, he said, John, we didn't know, but that's what we believe it to be. And I saw some great scat in that where the boneyard is, not brown. I saw a gray, like you said, but I didn't see a boulder like this right down there. I didn't tell you this. I saw this gray. What is that? Cougar, and it's like gray clay, just like clay.
Was it?
Was
it fresh or was it old?
His was steaming. 20 years ago, his was steaming.
Yeah. It had flies on it.
Fresh and gray.
Steaming.
Because I could see where something
Like oatmeal.
as it dried out over days and weeks, it would turn gray. But it was fresh, and what you saw was gray. I've never heard of any scat.
It's gray.
Yeah, gray and the texture of oatmeal.
Kind of oatmeal, kind of like little ripply. But him and Joey said it was
Wow.
massive 20 years ago, and it was flies all over. It was just. Did you say that, Mark, or am I stretching the blanket?
No, there's flies. I mean, it has to be a million.
Quit talking about it. He goes, I don't know. He's a believer. He says it had to be, and it had to be because the guy that sent us up here, his dad's seen the thing. Maybe he said a Sasquatch, scat, because that's the ranger is where the elk is. They say if you want to see a Bigfoot, you go with the elk, you go with a fish, you go with that. Your chances are double, because they don't veer from the water.
Right.
They claim herds until I don't know how long until they move on. They move to the fish, whatever. But that's my understanding. And then they push everybody off. The bears, everything. The hunters, they go. They make it uncomfortable for you. So it was. I saw some gray. Sword Jesus. Mm-hmm. About this big.
Yeah.
Right down with the bones. The same time I told you that I just before you pointed out the elk up there,
Yeah.
the big bull.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mark. So we were in the elk. I went back to Mark after I left that area earlier that day. So I had what happened the night before. I'm still looking at and I'm getting a little eerie with these bones around here and there. They're big. They're huge. And so then I see some scat.
Tell me more about that.
Yeah. Can I say one more thing? I apologize for that because it's on my mind. I said because what happened is, why we were deer season, now I'm back on track, I apologize, I'm not good at these interviews. But now I'm back on track, because your question was, why did he ask Mark that? Well, said he saw a big pile of scat, 2 weeks before he was hiking up there, of smell, and it smelled foul. There was a stench in the area. He was asking these questions, right? There's a stench. And he ran into the scat where we shot the elk at. And he was a little concerned. So while we're deer hunting and screwing around and not really paying attention, he's asking Mark this question. I said, here's what's key. Did you get a picture of that scat? He goes, I didn't. So that's the only thing to let down on that. But he said it was big, like Mark said, and that's why he's asking Mark, what did you and Joey see? And he said, during deer season, he goes, I just felt eerie. It felt like, and I could smell this horrible smell. I said, well, where was this? Where we shot the elk last year? I go, really? So we didn't see anything. At that point, I forgot about the Sasquatch. You forgot about it probably. I shouldn't speak for Mark. We go back, we deer hunt and do our music, whatever. Come back home 2 weeks later. So we forgot about Bigfoot then. Is that key here? But why is asking these questions during deer season? He was concerned. So we forget about it, and then that happened during elk on the last 2 days.
So does
In that area, he found scat where Mark had the boulder.
Yep.
100 yards down, straight down is where the scat was.
So does he have a story to tell that we haven't
I'm
heard?
sure he's got a lot more to tell because he ain't telling us.
He ain't talking.
And from this, before you edit this too, by the way, because we kind of, I don't mind, me and Mark, you do your magic on it. I know you're going to do a great job,
You guys are
and I
awesome.
trust you. But, you got to realize one thing here, and I don't think there's a no threat at all. I don't know what Mark feels about it. But Mark's been every bit of hunting with me. We've been bird hunting. We've seen big ass deer jump up front of us, haven't we? Mm-hmm. We've been half drunk, hung over, and we've seen it all. I just wasn't ready for this. This isn't what I would picture my Bigfoot experience, if I ever had one, would be. My experience is I'd be going down the road and oh there it is. Oh my God, we'd shit our pants and go. We'd have our gun. We can see it. We're safe. We have some security. What happened was kind of different. It showed us it could ambush you.
You were vulnerable. You were
It
exposed.
showed us its stealth. It showed us. My thing is, the good news and bad news with this, I told Bill, the good news and bad news is that the good news is that it didn't hurt us, because if it wanted to kill us, it could have. Because I had the guns, I couldn't see nothing. It could have just shot out and grabbed me coming down. I was right by the road. It could have hurt us. He says, yes. It could have took us all out, because it'd do like a Rambo. It'd get him first, get me, and then get Mark. But I mean, it didn't happen. The good thing is it didn't do that. It just wants us out of there. That's the good news. It didn't hurt us. But what bothered me is it showed its stealth. It showed us it could ambush us, and you can't do a damn thing about it. It was prepared. We thought we were secure because we had guns. We'd see it if it ever happened. And I wasn't thinking about Bigfoot at that time. But it knew to wait. It knew that we couldn't see. And that bothered me. It waited just till it got dark enough. Would you say, Mark?
Yeah.
And that's when the shit
Well,
happened.
I'd say, Mark, you 100% confirm that, because you saw a figure walking down and you're like,
Scared to death.
better be John.
Yeah.
He's
better be Johnny.
He's getting ready to
Yeah.
get the gun. He's not going to
Wow.
shoot what he can't see. It got real, dude.
Dude.
Because I knew he was right in front of me. So I knew that might be Bigfoot. But when I say he was in front of me, I didn't see him because there was shrubbery, it was black outside,
Right.
there was all kinds of stuff in my vision.
Yeah.
But he could have been right there and snagged me if he wanted to. He was that close. So when I saw Johnny walking down the road,
Yeah.
I was thinking Bigfoot. I wasn't thinking Johnny.
he got out of the truck because did this thing, whatever is doing this, did it get us, did it get them already? Swear to Jesus.
Yeah.
And so he went, oh dear God, I heard, remember? And I go, what? I go, what? I got my gun in the back, I go, what? He goes, Bigfoot. I go, it subconsciously came out. This is a guy that's 50-50. He ain't no more. It was actually better, and I feel gifted, than actually me seeing it. Because I probably would, if it would have just popped out on that road, I probably would have died of a heart attack. In other words, everybody sees it and claims that, oh, that's a guy in a suit or whatever. But what happened to us was totally different than what I would have anticipated or Mark. So I'm 120% that. The great thing is, if it wanted us gone, we wouldn't be talking to you.
We wouldn't be having
You
this
can't fight what you
conversation,
can't see. Because the road was really narrow, the Jeep road, and that tells me that it was no more, Mark, 20 feet from us? It could have got up there, grabbed me, and just snagged me. I wouldn't even have seen it. It was dark. I had a light, but it was dark.
And see, that's what was on my mind when I started walking up towards you, see where you were at.
Yeah.
I was thinking, Bigfoot something, or
right.
maybe he already got you. I didn't know what was going on. All kinds of crazy.
Mark's a pretty calm guy too. Can I vouch for you?
Yeah.
He's pretty calm under pressure.
I've known Mark for 40 years.
Yeah. Well, you can see we're a little rattled.
He tells the truth.
Yeah.
He's honest.
I'm not drinking any beer. This is full.
And he's
I'm telling you,
a
the
good
guy's
guy.
true. Oh yeah, straight shooter.
Yeah.
Real deal.
I don't know
Straight
who
shooter,
it is,
real deal.
And we've some people teased us, but most don't. They know we're telling. They said, John, I don't know.
No, I think the days of the teasing or ridicule, I think those days are over. I think word's getting out
Oh yeah.
on
I would
what's
agree.
going on, and I think people and I appreciate you guys sharing that and sharing that story because. I'm certain, there was a time when people wouldn't talk about it because there was like, we were.
I feel like jitter right now talking about it.
But that time has come and gone, and people feel a lot more comfortable, and I appreciate you guys sharing that. That's a lot. Can we take a break? And
Yeah.
Do you want?
I'll cap it off by saying to everybody out there, today's Bigfoot is yesterday's UFO.
oh boy,
Very well said, Mark.
UFOs are starting to pay attention to. They're starting to talk about. We'll do the same thing with Bigfoot.
Yeah.
May I add one thing to it? When you're done, Mark, I'm sorry.
That's it.
I apologize. I didn't mean to. I just. Here's the deal. Like they just came out with the UFO. I know what happened, and I feel almost privileged to what happened.
Right.
But I'm taking it it was very humbling. It's not the way my experience if I ever had one. But there was a specialist that did 9/11. He's a top Italian guy that did UFOs. They let him actually talk about it. He's an agent, Italian guy, and he's a top guy. And he said they go, well, with the UFOs and Bigfoot, he goes, well, let me tell you, and this guy's actually for real. This isn't makeup. He says I've only been able to talk to you about detail. But I will be able to tell you this point. I think it'll make clear. And I want you hear, remember what I told you. The government will never acknowledge anything that they can't control. Remember I told you that? Does that work for you?
I have heard that.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, remember, you got a whole section to talk about taking your trip up to see this stuff.
Okay.
We'll do that. Let's take a break.
break.
I'm going to shut that down.
Wow. And I'm sorry that we've talked too much.
No.
But Jim, I want to thank you too because you and Alicia, can I say that?
Yeah, for sure.
Because me and Mark, I want to talk about, thank you and Alicia for doing this kind of thing. I think it's really cool and taking the time to do this. And because me and Mark really probably wouldn't talk about it, but we know we're going to do things different, how we hunt. Okay, we get it, this thing doesn't want us there, but at this time, because of the elk. Let's see what I was going to say on that. But anyways, that's a good thing. I think this is great because we probably wouldn't have done anything with it. or they were gonna just change the way we hunt. I don't know.
Well,
That's
thanks
it.
for that, and I appreciate
So-
that.